this video, I'm going to be showing you the benefits we get on retention is the Most High rewarding us men. The bottom line is, we as men have things that we usually need to get through this life, whether it comes to our finances, our physical health, and our relationships. We have different things that we need to make the quality of our lives better. Now, when we go on something like retention, the Most High rewards us with benefits, and usually it comes in terms of financial health, just health in general. So this is what's happening to us when we decide to go on, no fap retention, things like that. We will get blessed immensely with favor. We will get blessed because we're doing things that was going to give us an ROI indefinitely. You got to realize, and I'm mostly talking about when it comes to this, it's fapping. That's what I'm mostly talking about. When you're fapping, you're not getting any benefits. You're diminishing yourself as a man, and you're not getting the things that you definitely need to prosper in this life. Now, if you continuously do this, you are going to cut yourself short. You're cutting yourself short because all of the benefits that you would rather have gotten when you are retaining and you're on nofap is getting diminished. You might even start to realize, and this has happened to me, if you relapse with the hand through PMO, that you might catch bad breaks because your aura has resonated to a lower level. Your quote unquote vibration has lowered to a lower level. Now you're in this pessimistic state of mind, and this is why you might not catch the good breaks. When you're on a long streak of nofap, you're going to have high vibrational energy, meaning you're going to have a positive outlook on life, and things are going to be responding to you with this positive aura. It's all about your mindset. It all comes down back to your mindset. If you're fapping religiously, for fapping regularly, you're not going to have these benefits because all your energy aura is destroyed. You have to realize that this whole life is made of energy. Everything is made of energy. So you start to realize that you're more in tune with your life in general when you've been retaining, because semen itself is energy. It's energy that you're saving up. So you're going to start to realize that you're in sync. The biggest thing that I realized is, if you fap recently or you're watching explicit material recently, is that you just might come across as not as in sync. And these are very subtle changes, minor changes, but there's a difference. There's subtle and minor changes that you probably won't realize. You really have to be paying close attention to start seeing the differences between when you relapse and when you've been retaining for an extended period of time. When you're nofap, when you haven't released for a while, you start to realize that you're more in sync with life. Everything just comes naturally to you. You don't have to think twice about anything. You're more masculine and you're more decisive. Number one thing is being more decisive. You're going to be a lot more decisive, intentional, and masculine when you're on nofap retention, as opposed to you relapsing recently. If you're relapsing, you're too indecisive. You're taking whatever you can get. You're just taking whatever. You're settling for anything, pretty much. This is the big difference. There's a big difference. This is why there's people who are fapping, who defend fapping, and their lives are quietly desperate. They have lives of quiet desperation, because they're fapping regularly, so they don't realize that they're actually getting out of alignment with life. And because they're getting out of alignment with life, their decision making is skewed. They're hesitant, they're paranoid, they're undecisive. And this is a very big difference. When you're regularly in sync with life, you can make decisions easily because your intuition is high. You have to realize it's all about your intuition. When your intuition is fully working properly, then you start to realize that a lot of the things that you say and the things that you want to do, it's easier for you to say these things because you're in alignment with life. But if you're, like I said before, if you're fapping regularly, you're out of alignment, and this is very subtle. It really comes down to emotional intelligence. Your aura energy, your how relaxed you are is definitely different when you relapse and when you're retaining. You're just very and if you relapse recently, you might not be as relaxed, and this is very subtle. These are very minor changes. But for example, let's say you're in an interaction with a one-on-one with a person, and usually, those nudges that you have inside of you, if you're maybe in a one-on-one with someone, and you know that maybe you need to speak, just because, to not make it awkward. It's going to be very apparent when you need to speak and when you don't need to speak. Some people really know this easily, and this also comes down to when you're dealing with women as well too. You have these nudges that when you're supposed to act, when you're supposed to speak, and these come very naturally to you. They're like downloads from the Most High. They're like cheat codes from the Most High for you to do specific things at specific moments to get specific results. Now, if you're relapsing recently, these downloads don't come as natural to you. You're very out of sync with life. This is why you might come across as timid, shy, and not a people person. One thing that I have realized is that you become more of a people person when you've retained. You're just way more of a people person. You can hold conversations way longer. People are probably more drawn to you when you've retained. And you're just a lot more relaxed. You're way too timid. You're way too undecisive, and you're just way too much in your head when you've relapsed recently. And this is pretty much it. So you're going to be pretty in sync with life when you've retained. You're going to be a people person. If you're on, let's say for an example, you're on a one-on-one with a doctor. You're getting a checkup or something, and it's just you and the other person. If you've retained recently, the one-on-one it's going to go smoother. You're going to be able to easily have natural small talk. You're going to be able to carry a conversation easily. But when you relapse, you may still, can do small talk, but it just doesn't come as natural to you. You have to realize there's unspoken, quote unquote, unspoken things that you pretty much need to do to get people to be relaxed around you and to get people to subconsciously like you. They're very unspoken, and it's just about how back and forth you can have small talk, have a conversation, have charisma. It's just easy for you to be this person that's liked by people, and it's natural to you when you've retained and you've been meditating. It's just way easier for you to be this person. Now, if you relapse, it might be a bit more, you have to try a bit harder because it's not coming to you as much. You might come across as timid, and you're coming across as thinking too much. The one thing is overthinking. When you've relapsed recently, you do probably overthink way more than you need to. But when you've retained, you're in sync with life. You're super present in the moment, and you can go about your day naturally and smoothly. It's a very smooth transition in your life. But when you're relapsing consistently, you're very out of sync. You might come across as lower vibration. You might come across as dry. These things are very subtle too. You don't even think you might do this, but I know people who relapse consistently, and they just have this aura that's very dry because they're letting go of their essence, the thing that makes them a man. And because of this, they come across as a robot. They just don't have any emotions. They don't care about anything. They're just in this state of as people call it, as an NPC in a sense. Just going through emotions, not being the main character in their life. And this is why their social life suffers, their dating life suffers, their finances probably suffer, their business life suffers, their social interactions suffer, because they don't have this sixth sense of charisma, because they relapse everything that gives them charisma. Retention gives you charisma. Semen fluid helps you become charismatic, helps you become present. Because you're present, you're going to be more charismatic. There's natural things that you do as a man that is going to just be more naturally drawn to you when you've retained. These are some of the things you have to realize. This is what happens to you when you relapsed. This is what happens to you when you retain. So the choice is up to you. So the benefits that we do get from retention is the Most High blessing us and rewarding us for our effort in trying to better ourselves as men. Now, you don't necessarily need these benefits, but if you want to have a higher quality of life, you want things to be in your favor, then I would highly recommend you go on NoFap, abstain from explicit material for an extended period of time. You're probably going to be more productive. You're probably going to get more things done. You're probably going to be happier with yourself, and you're probably going to start attracting the things that you actually want. It's all about what you want now versus what you want in the long run. What will you choose? what will you choose? So just realize this: anytime you want to relapse, anytime you're thinking about relapsing, just realize, do I want this? Is this going to help me get my long-term goals? Maybe your long-term goal is to find a significant partner. Do you really think that if you fapping, that you're more likely to achieve this status or not, of obtaining a long-term partner? Do the research before you make these decisions for yourself. With that being said, I hope that video made sense. I hope you got some value from it. Like and comment to the channel and subscribe to the channel. Like the video, comment and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.